morning, friends. Happy Wednesday. Today is Earth Day. Today is the day that we get to celebrate our Earth. And yesterday we talked about water on Earth and we made our paper plate and covered it with water. I wanted you to know from yesterday's lesson that the majority of the Earth's surface is covered in water. So that was my main objective from yesterday. Now, today I want to talk about the land on Earth, and we're going to add some land here to our Earth's surface that we made yesterday. So, for today's lesson, you're going to need some green paper. Now, I had green paper here at home left over from a project. If you don't have green, you can just use white paper and color it green or paint it green or however you want to do it. And for this project, I made a square that is 6 inches across and 6 inches tall. So it's a 6 by 6 perfect square. And today we're going to draw the continents of land that are on our Earth. Do you guys remember how many continents there are from yesterday's lesson or video? So I'm reusing the lesson that we did yesterday, and I'm just opening up here to this map, and it shows you the continents that are on our Earth, and there are Antarctica's 1, Australia's 2, Africa's 3, Europe is 4, Asia is 5, and North America 6, and South America 7. So there are 7 big chunks of land on our Earth. So that's what we're going to draw here on this green paper today. Now, I kind of have a system for doing this that I think makes it easier. You can do it however you want. This is not going to be to scale. We're not going to worry about it being perfectly sized. We're going to try our best to make sure that the continents are somewhat the right size. We don't want to make Australia to be bigger than Africa, for instance, because Australia is the smallest continent. So the way I like to do it is I'm going to start on the bottom of my green square, and I'm going to start by drawing a long skinny strip of land for Antarctica that's on the bottom. So I'm going to take I'm just using a white crayon, and I'm just going to make a long skinny strip of land that goes pretty much all the way across like that. Can you guys see that? So it's just a long skinny strip of land. This is going to be on the bottom of our Earth. This is Antarctica, and I'm going to label it number 1 because this is my first continent that I'm drawing. Okay? Then I'm going to come up above Antarctica, and I'm going to draw a little island of Australia right here. And so I'm just going to kind of look at it and kind of just go around and make it like a little small island like that. Can you see that? That's that's Australia. So we have Antarctica on the bottom, and then this is the little island of Australia. And I'll make a little 2 for that because that is the second continent that I made. See that? Now, after we have Antarctica and Australia, I'm going to go into the center of the green because this is kind of the anchor for my whole map puzzle. This is Africa, and Africa is kind of right here in the middle. It's a larger continent. So in the middle, I'm just going to kind of go around and down and just the best I can. And I'll give Africa my number 3 because that's my third continent. So now I have Antarctica, Australia, and Africa right here in the middle. Now that Africa's in the middle, I can build around Africa on the right side of my paper, which would be the eastern part of my map, or over here on the left side of my paper, which would be the western part of my map. So next I'm going to go right above Africa. Here's Africa, and I'm going to go right on top of Africa, and I'm going to do Europe. And Europe is actually connected to Asia, but it is a separate continent. So I'm going to go right here on top of Africa, and I'm going to make, and Europe has a lot of tiny little countries in it. but it's the second smallest continent after Australia. And then I will give it a number 4 because it is the 4th continent that I did. Can you see that? So I made it really close to Africa, but there's some space, a little bit of space in between because I'm going to cut these out, okay? So there is Europe. Now I'm going to come over here beside Europe, and I'm going to do the biggest continent, Asia, and it goes all the way up here to the top and kind of down. It has a lot of little islands over here. And I know many of you have family members that are from some of these islands over here, so you can talk with your family about that too. So I'm going to come up from Europe, and I'm going to go, and again, it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just going to try to make it my biggest continent, and I'm not going to worry about all the little islands. There's our little Qatar friend from yesterday's lesson that Ethan kind of inspired us to learn about. Okay, so Asia is number 5. That's the 5th continent that I made. Can you see that? So here I have, again, Antarctica on the bottom. Australia is a little island bubble by itself. Then I went to Africa here in the center. On top of Africa is Europe. And then over here on the eastern side, on the right-hand side of our map is going to be Asia. And hopefully you can see that my continent of Asia is way bigger than my Australia and even bigger than my Africa, which is the 2nd largest continent. All right, so let's go up to North America. This is our home up here, North America. You see that? So I'm going to do North America now, and doing the best I can. Do Canada at the top. Coming down, we'll do the United States, Mexico. Here's California, and then Mexico, and then part of North America is the Central America, which are the tiny little countries that come down like that. Okay, and then this is number 6. I'm going to put a number 6 there. See that? So up here is Canada, up here in the north, and then the United States is right here in the middle, and then Mexico, and then all the Central American countries, which are down here on this part right here. And then my last one to do is the continent which is south of North America, and that is South America right here. So now I'm going to come around, and South America is kind of long. Very similar shape to Africa, but smaller. And I will give it number 7 because that is our 7th continent. Okay, so now we've got 7 chunks of land. These are the continents. We have Antarctica, Australia, we have Africa right here in the middle. On top of Africa is Europe, and then we have Asia, and North America, and South America. These are our chunks of land, guys. These are our 7 continents. Now, to save time, well, you guys are now going to cut these out. I already cut mine out. I did one before this movie just so it would be faster. And now I'm going to add my land to my water. So the first one I'm going to add is Antarctica, and Antarctica is on the bottom. And I can keep my map here to look at my map and see that Antarctica is on the bottom. So I'm going to add my glue here and add my Antarctica. And I'm hoping you guys still have glue from when we used to do our homework, when we used to add our, build our word fam, or our sight words on the last 2 pages of our homework. I'm hoping you guys have glue. Okay, so there's my Antarctica down at the bottom of my earth. Okay, and then my second one is going to be Australia. That's my little island right here above Antarctica. Okay, down here. And then I'm going to go and do Africa. Africa is my number 3. It's my anchor. It's my middle part of my map. And it will go right here in the middle. And then once I get in Africa, then it's real easy to build around Africa because I can just go up or to the right or to the left of Africa. So Africa should be kind of right here in the middle of your plate. Then I'm going to go to Europe. And Europe is actually right above Africa, number 4. We'll leave a little space because there's some sea, the Mediterranean Sea. Okay, see it? Europe is right here on top of Africa, and there's some water space in between. See that? So here is Antarctica, Australia, Africa, Europe, and then do you know this big continent over here that's going to go on the right-hand side? It's the largest, and it's number 5. It is Asia. I'm going to put Asia on there. Now, can you see why I numbered these? Because it makes it a whole lot easier now to get them in the right place. Now, what I did is, can you guys see that? I'll slide it over. So I actually, Asia is attached to Europe, so there's no ocean or water space here. So when I glued it, I just pushed them right up against each other. But can you see that separation line right here, that crack line right there? That's the 2 different continents. Okay, now here is my North America and South America, but I forgot to cut it, so I'm going to cut it right here because North America has that land bridge that's going down called the Central American countries. So I'm going to stick that right up here. So now I have my North America, and then now I have right here enough space to add my South America, which is number 7, our 7th chunk of land on Earth. Okay, and I'm going to make it just like I did with Europe and Asia. So you can see there's no water here in between. So I'm going to push my South America up, touching my North America like that. Can you see that? Actually, a long time ago, sailors wanted to travel from the eastern part of the United States and go over here to the western part during the gold rush, I believe. And so instead of going all the way around South America on their ships, they decided to cut a canal through here. So that's the Panama Canal, which is a famous canal. So anyway, I digress. That's a sidetrack. Okay, so here is our Earth. I want you to see that most of our Earth is water, and only 29% is the land. So, and we have 4 oceans. We have the Pacific Ocean, which is our ocean because California is right here on the western part of the United States. So here's the Pacific Ocean, and it wraps all the way around here too. And then we have the Atlantic Ocean, the Indian Ocean, the Southern Ocean, and the Arctic Ocean up here. So those are the 5 oceans that you will learn about in today's video. Okay, guys? So after you build your land on Earth, today you're going to be reading about different places on the land and in the water on Earth here in this little scholastic reader called Don't Be a Litter Bug. And guys, on our Earth there are people and animals depending on our Earth, and the animals can't do anything about the trash that is on our Earth. So that's up to us. That's up to people. So throughout this book, you will find the animals, and in their environment are some trash. Like here's the beach, and there's a plastic water bottle. And so the crab his home is polluted. So we got to clean up the trash, guys, because the trash ends up in the water, and then all the water leads to the ocean, and then the animals are not healthy and well because of the pollution. So throughout this book, there's some land and some water places. So here's the beach, here's the forest, here's a pond, here's the ocean with the sea turtle in it. Here's a park with a squirrel, and here's a desert here with a lizard. And on the back is a playground. And in your journal today, guys, I want you to think about, like, if you could go to any of these places in this book today, what is that one place that you would choose to want to go visit today and spend your day, this beautiful day today outside? So where would you want to spend it? Would you want to be on the beach building a sandcastle? Would you want to be in the forest with the trees hiking? Maybe you'd want to go to a pond and go fishing or look at the animals in the pond or swim in the ocean. Maybe some of you just wish you could go to the park and play. Or I know Nathan was telling me about Joshua Tree and how he has family in the desert. Maybe he wants to go to the desert or on the playground. So I want you guys to pick one place in here that you would love to visit today, and I want you to write about that in your writing journal today. Okay, guys? I hope you have a good time today with our lessons on land and water on earth. And I can't wait to see the maps that you guys are going to make today. And don't worry about it being perfect. Do the best job you can do on drawing your pictures. And if you don't like the way it turns out, flip it over and do it on the back. Remember, I always say, we're not going to worry about being perfect. We're just going to do the best we can. All right, guys, I hope you have a great day, and I can't wait to see your maps later.